So, it's 6 in the morning here. Getting a little early morning hustle in. Doing a little bit of workout and a little bit of work on media. The benefits of having your gym and your office in the same space. You can kill two birds with one stone. Lights out! Game over! Make way 'cause the Kings is back. Gotta make time where you can. So the inspiration behind the story came from not only for the basic premise of the story, but also just for the whole attitude and kind of theme behind the book and why I wrote it and who I'm writing it for. All derives from there's a band that's called P.O.D. right here.
My soul's payable on death, homegrown out the west. My words spit lethal from the grill, leaving you holding your breath. So who on next and who gon' test?
Christian rock band came up really big on the scene in the 90s, got really huge in the 2000s, broke into the secular scene, and became top of the charts. Anyways, I was introduced to them at a young age, fell in love with their music, their positive message, and their hard-edged kind of music and style. I really loved. But when the album came out, called Satellite, I think was their biggest album at the time. It came out right around the time of September 11th, and I was going through a lot. The feelings behind these books, coming from the events of September 11th, 2001, really hit me hard. Just realizing that people could do that. I was young, realizing for the first time that people could do that to each other, and there's people out there who do this kind of thing, just really struck me as horrible. And the idea of the world being so bad kind of hit me there. Anyways, their music at the time helped me through a lot of that. And there's one song in particular that became my favorite song of all time, still to this day, track number 8 on their CD called The Messenger. The Messenger. And the themes, if you listen carefully, it's obviously revolving around the story of John the Baptist. From the actual Bible, you know, the lyrics are one voice in the desert calling, make way, all these sorts of ideas. So the idea of kind of a badass John the Baptist was planted, and you know, and then just again, at the time when I was looking around, there were so many Christian movies, Christian books out there that just weren't doing enough to help people. And I thought, I quickly realized that the reason behind that is because, you know, no offense to the producers or anything, but most of it is cheesy and lame. But I saw and watched this band, P.O.D., that I love so much, break onto the scene and just become friends with these other bands that, you know, a lot of people in the Christian world would call heathens, or, you know, of the devil's music. And these hard-edged rockers were, you know, not being approached by the faith because of how they were and how they looked and dressed and their music and lyrics. But P.O.D., I think, kind of broke down the barriers and became friends with these guys, and, you know, just hit the road with these guys, toured with them, played shows with them, and were just doing what they were supposed to do, is just to love them and be friends with them and not judging. So that whole attitude kind of sunk in for me, and it was already kind of present, that it was already kind of there, but P.O.D.'s attitude and the music just really fueled it for me and kind of brought it home and made me realize it all the more what we need to be doing. P.O.D. to death. Saw them 4 or 5 times at concerts in the span of a couple of years. Got them to sign the shirt at Cornerstone Music Festival there. That's all their signatures there. Still have it on my wall. Still have this hat, actually, from the concert in Toronto that they played at the Cool House. This is actually the drummer's. This is Wub's hat that he threw out into the audience after the show. And I quickly picked it up after the show, and I still have it to this day, some 15, 20 years later almost. P.O.D. has been so influential for me. They talk about this whole thing called Babylon, and it's a great city, a great representation of just evil in our world, and I've included it into my books and some of the title chapters and some of the conversations that the characters have. A lot of days I sit right here in my car on my commute with the tunes going for some inspiration. I always have my arsenal, of course, P.O.D. beside me on the chair. Got my stack, got the music going. I'm grinding this thing out, trying to get it going. Selling these books. praying that the right person comes along, the right store, the right agent, whatever comes along and picks up my book, gives it a shot.